What's good, Honolulu? Welcome to my show. This is an overview of the rough draft that I'm writing for my book. I'm going to read through it. It may sound incongruent, but I'm trying to make sure I save it onto the internet in a fashion so in emergencies the information can be conveniently accessed. My life is full of purpose, and I know what I must share with the world. It is my art, my masterpiece, my devotion to you, my fellow human beings, because I've made some discoveries and really sensed my experiences, my difficult times, and noticed others' experiences as well. So I introduce you to the Keys book. I'm going to be talking about how I've discovered freedom from attachment, from people and things, except for, of course, my own feelings and, in the future, the feelings of my spouse, conjugal spouse. And what I've done is I've discovered my sexuality and my goal to be with a good match for me. I think that's what life is about. That's my main motivation. Without that, there would be no point in living. I'm insinuating that if I was unable to orgasm and unable to experience, a relationship with a woman, perhaps due to illness or old age, I would rather commit humane suicide and go to the next life. I believe in that. Really, if you really believe in reincarnation, it helps you to be willing to let go of even your own body if necessary. Now, what am I inspired by? I'm inspired by women. That's what life's all about. It's been, physical attraction. I'm also inspired by different religions. My desire to see joy and peacefulness everywhere. My enthusiasm, to help, quote unquote, save the world. I think Christians, for example, they want to be in that religion for the right reasons, like being respectful to others. But let us try to coexist with others, and at least in public. People who are LGBT, and let's have great bedroom experiences with our spouses. That's my goal for adults. That's my goal. Of course, considering the fact that we don't really discover who we are until a certain age. Our real passion in life, our focus, our likes, our dreams, our desires. Or we can be jealous of people who disagree with us and not be socially courteous to them. We can be homophobic, and we can want no mate. Why am I saying this? Because this is what describes the figure in Christianity, Jesus. That's those are the qualities he has. So it's a good reason to start thinking outside the box. Even if you want to be a Christian to maintain good values, you can do it on your own. And the other half of the equation of having a spouse is having religious rituals. And the way I do that is by, I visualize bright white light. I have positive visualizations. These are things that I do that I've discovered, through experimentation work for me. Alright, so instead of trying to save the world in a sense of fixing problems, let's look at the root of the issue, why the problems come up at all. I think it's a result of spousal relationship instability, which I think leads to other issues such as conflict, disruption in communities, corruption, pollution. I've had to change the way I thought and really take a step out of where I was in the world, and the people I associated with, the way I spoke. What qualifies me to speak upon how to help you be more joyful and happy? Well, although I haven't been in a long-term relationship, I've observed them, and I've experienced other hardship, poverty, prostitution. I think being in a state like that has compelled me to create this philosophy for a beautiful world, starting with people who are courageous enough to let go of things such as current relationships in order to prepare for their match. What's the main objective of your theology? In Buddhism, it's perhaps going beyond the mind or letting go. In other religions, they don't even seem to take monogamy or marriage seriously. But that's what I do. Let's be independently oriented, so we're not dependent on other people or churches. Because when you involve too many people, I think corruption is possible. And that way we can separate church and state. We can look at the government and say, okay, its job is to make sure the people's have a democracy in which they vote and which their goals and wants are met. And I'm not talking about the politicians of today. That's not democracy. That's just putting elections in the hands of a small group of people like the White House and so on. It doesn't make sense to me. We can just collect massive votes. Like the goal in Christianity is getting to heaven, but what's the point if you're going to just incarnate next time? Shouldn't the goal be to live life on earth and enjoy it? That's why I created the Keys book. So check out the next episode. It'll review chapters 1 through 7, also known as chakras 1 through 7, like the first all the way to the 7th crown chakra, and I explain some things along those lines that I've shared with you in this intro. Thanks for being here with me.